I've just had a lot of questions recently about how I, as a mother of 6, handle my life. Whether it's meal planning, which is probably the most common because we are a family of 8, or how I keep the house clean, and how I homeschool and keep things in order with 6 kids. So I thought it would be a great idea for me to share with you guys how I do what I do, what my tips and tricks are, what I've learned over the years. So again, today I want to talk to you about the 5 most highly effective habits of homemakers. They're super simple, they're easy to do, and so I did write notes because, as you will get to know, I can be a rambler and I don't want to waste your guys' time. I just want to get in, give you the info that you want, and let you go about your day. So let's get into this. 5 habits of a highly effective homemaker. The first one is vision. I want you guys to sit there and think about, what do you want your home to represent? What mood, what kind of feeling do you want people to have when they are in your home? What do you want your kids to think back to and say their home was like? I think it's super important, and I think that it's so easy to get so caught up into what needs to be done. If you just sit there for a minute and think back to some of the homes that you really enjoyed, what did it smell like? What things were around that made you feel comfortable? What do you think of when you think back on it? What do you really want your home to represent? It's super important, and I think that a lot of people miss this step, because when I think about it, I want my home to be comfortable, I want it to be peaceful, I want the kids to feel loved and warm and comfy. So just really think about that mood and that vibe that you want in your house. What is it that you want your home to represent? Because that's going to be super important when you sit here and you are, making sure the dishes are done or making sure that things are clean. You want to have that reason, that why behind what you're doing, so that you don't lose sight of what you're doing and you're not doing it for the wrong reasons. You want your heart to be in the right place so that you're doing these things out of love for your family. So that's my first one. Number 1, what is your vision for your home? And write it down so that you can remind yourself. You will see probably as we get to know each other, if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. And as we get to know each other, you will notice that I will have post-its throughout, especially like on the fridge here. You'll see post-its of whether it's verses that I want to remember, remind myself of, to-dos, or things that I need to remember at the store, whatever it is. And I like to put it up there because, 1, it's easy for me, like I see it throughout the day, and 2, I can sit here and say, hey husband, the list is right there, can you just take a picture or what is on there and send it to me? Okay, so number 2, cleaning routine or schedule. Now, I used to be so resistant to schedules. I don't know what it was. It just made me kind of like clamp up, and I think that it's because I feel like I have to follow every single little thing. And so when we started homeschooling, something I switched over doing was routine. We have a routine. So if we happen to sleep in a little bit later, that's okay. We still know what we do. We still get up, we still have breakfast, get ready for the day, do a quick cleanup, morning Bible time, that whole thing. So I do suggest also having a daily routine, a weekly routine, and a monthly routine, because it's so common for homemakers to not get to those deep clean things, and so then it piles up and then you end up spring cleaning and you literally take forever to do it because there's so much to do. Some tips that I do have on your cleaning routine: I would roll over anything that you don't get done in a day. If there's something that you're really wanting to get to, like organizing something, decluttering something, purging stuff from your closet or whatever it is, you really want to get to it but you just don't get it done that day, just go ahead and roll it over to the next day and just slowly work on it. Do what you can when you can. Don't beat yourself up about it, and just roll it over to the next day if you don't get to it. Another thing that I would suggest is focus on one room at a time. Don't just sit there and be like, okay, well, we're going to, dust the lights in all of the rooms, because you will get distracted, or at least I do. I get distracted really easily. I walk into a room, I see all the things that need to be done, and then I get sidetracked on what I was actually doing. And so I just work on one room at a time. I work top to bottom and I work left to right. Okay, now the third one that I am going to suggest is probably people's least favorite one, but it will change everything. It really does matter. It makes a difference. As a mom, it's difficult. But number 3 is get up early. Beat the crowd, ladies. You have got to get up before the children, before the husband. It really does make a huge difference. Now, I know that there's so many sleep deprived mamas in that early stage, or you have those long nights or just like a bad day and you just want to sleep in, and I totally get it. I currently have a 4-month-old, and there's this time where after having the baby you just can't really do it because being up every 2 hours or just not really having the baby on a routine yet really makes it difficult. And like I said, you're sleep deprived. You just want to get any little extra sleep anywhere in the day that you can. Those little pockets really matter, and I totally understand, but I promise it'll pay in dividends. It just starts slowly, just 15-30 minutes a day, earlier and earlier, until you can finally get up. I usually get up at 6 a.m. so that I can be out my family, because my son, he gets up around 7, and then slowly everybody else trickles out. So it's super important to me to get up at 6 a.m. so that I can make sure that I can have my coffee in peace, I can do my Bible time and prayer time, and I can sit there and eat my own breakfast before I have to make theirs, and that usually takes about an hour. If I'm lucky, I will also get dressed and ready for the day and be completely ready to receive my kids and all the things and responsibilities that it entails. So I know that it's going to be challenging and it's going to probably take some time, but I promise you it will really pay off, and you'll feel so much better because you got up before everybody else and you took care of you and you had your time before you had to be mama. And so number 3 is get up early. And then number 4, another super easy one, but it takes some discipline and planning, is plan out your meals, girls. Here's why. It makes it so much easier when you know what to expect, when you don't have to go to the fridge and the pantry and figure out, okay, what am I gonna make? What do I have? What do I not have? Do I have to run to store? And you just have a plan written out where you know, okay, this is what it is. This is the ingredients that I need for it. I know where to get it all. Even better if you start prepping ahead of time, like earlier in the day, you see, okay, on the planner, on the calendar, on the schedule, whatever it is that you have that works for you, you see, okay, I'm making meatloaf and mashed potatoes. You know, okay, I need to take this and this out. I need to peel potatoes. I need to get those things ready. You, in the back of your mind, are now thinking of those things throughout the day, and you know, okay, this is when I have to start to have dinner ready at this time. 2, your budget. It'll help you stay on budget. And if you're somebody who, I'm assuming many homemakers are trying to stay on budget, trying to keep the costs down, if you are meal planning, then you're able to only buy what you need. You're only using what you need. There's not a bunch of just like, oh, I'll just, you know, this sounds good, this looks good, I'm just gonna buy all these things, and then you have to do the, you know, store run later because you're missing something or somebody ate something or whatever it is. I do meal plan, snacks included, which might seem a little excessive to some people that I even plan out snack, but like I said, for the budget, it's really helpful too. For space, it's really helpful. So I know, okay, this is exactly what I need, this is what I have room for. You know, can I have more pantry items? Do I need more fridge items? Fresh fruits that I can just sit out, things like that. So it's super helpful for me in that area. But nonetheless, meal plan. It'll help you with your day, it'll help you feel like you're on top of things, and it'll also help with your financial budget. Number 5, your attitude. And this is something that I kind of touched on in the beginning when we were talking about number 1. Number 5 is really important because from your heart, your actions will follow. If you are upset that you just washed the dishes and now there's a bunch of dishes in there, if you're disappointed that somebody just went to the bathroom after you cleaned the toilet, or a kid spilled something on your fresh mop floor, or you just organized all those books and the kids did not put them away, or you just put all those blocks away and now a little kid is in there playing with them. You're just thinking about all the work that's before you, all the things you just did and now you have to do them again. All of those things is just going to cause you to have that anxiety, that worry, that frustration. You're not going to be a very pleasant person. For me specifically, I can't speak for everybody, when I get in those moods and I tend to have a bad attitude, or I get angry easily, or I'm super frustrated, or I speak harshly to the kids, I always feel so guilty and gross after, especially when it has something to do with something so trivial as they're playing with the blocks that are their toys, or they went to the bathroom because they have to go to the bathroom, or they spilled because they tripped, or whatever it is. Like, we need to be parenting with grace and we need to be kind. And again, that goes back to that, what kind of mood and presence do you want your home to have in your kid's life? Do you want to be the mom that's getting upset because the house isn't clean? Do you want to be the mom who's getting, you know, bent out of shape and agitated because guests are coming over and the kids are making the mess? And is that really what you want them to see you as? I know, looking back over the years, like, I really have struggled in that. I don't like things to be out of order. And when I saw that I was negatively impacting my children and they weren't wanting to really enjoy what I had done, and it really hurt my heart. as I reflected. And like I said, when you act harshly to them and you have to sit in those feelings, like, it's really hard. And so thankfully God has really worked in my life, really helped me in these areas. I have this friend who I have gotten the privilege of, you know, being very close in relationship with over the years, and she's great with this. She's a super gracious mother. She's quick to repent when she, you know, speaks out of anger or irritation, and she is one to really allow her children to enjoy the gift that it is of a clean home or a peaceful home or a pretty home. And she's actually the one that taught me how to have beauty in my homemaking, because I was so just focused on practicality and making sure that things were done and cleaned and the list was done and the checks were on it and just like the whole thing. And she really caused me to look inside myself and slow down. And Rachel Jankovic, like a short little study on homemaking, and one of the things that she said was, you clean these things, your home is for the enjoyment of others. It's a gift. It's the fruit of your hands. You want people to enjoy the fact that there's clean dishes. You want people to enjoy the fact that there's a clean floor. Everything is orderly. They know where to find their blocks. They know where to find their favorite book. Even though you have to pick it up again, they got to enjoy that. And so I would really, really encourage you to just take a step back and think about, why am I cleaning? What is the purpose of it? And do I really want to be more focused on the cleanliness of things, or do I want people to enjoy the fruit of my labors, the fruit of my hands, and see it as a blessing? See that you are blessing your family when you cook a home-cooked meal. All those dishes are a representation of that home-cooked meal and how they enjoyed it, and you want them to enjoy it. So I highly, highly encourage you to just think about your attitude throughout the day, as you're cleaning, as you're cooking, as you're changing diapers, as you're cleaning up spit up that you've been puked on for the 15th time in the day. As you're doing all of these things, and listen, we're gonna mess up. I am not perfect in this. I fail in it every day, like I said. So hi, how are you? I was editing my video and realized my video cut out at some point, and I didn't realize that until now. So here I am doing the weird video thing where it's a different day and I'm recording. I hope you can forgive me on this, and I hope, God willing, it doesn't happen the next one. But basically what I was saying was, I hope that you are encouraged by this video. Remember, give yourself grace, take it step by step. If you fall short one day, you always have another, because we have the gift of new mercies every morning. So if you did find this at all helpful or encouraging, please hit that like button. If you'd like to see more of me talking about motherhood and homemaking, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I love to see you around. And just to wrap things up really quickly for you, the 5 habits of highly effective homemakers. Number 1 was your vision. Number 2 was your cleaning schedules. Number 3 was get up early. Number 4, meal planning. And number 5 was attitude. And attitude is probably the most important. So I hope that you were encouraged. I hope to see you around. And as always, I hope that you have a blessed day. See you later.